What's the first thing you liked about me?
I thought that you were quite brilliantly broken.
You feel like my person.
You feel like my person.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
I saw things. I shouldn't have seen any of it.
Julie! Julie! Please don't do this!
When someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead. But sometimes something so bad happens that the soul cannot rest. Until you put the wrong things right. You were given the power of a god. But you're running out of time to save her.
I'm gonna kill them. Every single one of them.
And killed you.
Yeah, you did.
We have a problem. He came for us.
First impulse. Anger. It's not anger. It's love.
Look at what you've become. You know that love promises only pain. You have no idea what hell awaits you.
No, I do.
How many people have you loved?
I'll never be alone.
I'm Rob. This is my wife Melody.
What's up?
Okay, so you guys are probably going to be very divisive about this conversation. Completely understandable. I am wearing this makeup in solidarity. Not to get into details, but we absolutely love Brandon Lee.
Yes.
We love the original Crow. But we have to say that we enjoyed the new one.
I thoroughly enjoyed
Quite
this
a bit.
new Crow. But I have stated, as I have always stated, the Crow is never supposed to be just one story. It was always multiple different stories. That's why you had City of Angels and you had the other ones that kind of bombed. It was always supposed to be multiple different Crows. Now, the fact that they used the same names as the one that had Brandon Lee in it, I understand that's rubbing people the wrong way. But here's the thing. It is a totally different story.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna mansplain on you a bit, and I apologize. But actually, the original Crow graphic novel was supposed to be a one and done. James O'Barr wanted it to just kind of be a love letter to somebody that he had lost, that was his girlfriend in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
So it was indicative, for him, like it was almost like it was a Cure song.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But he did multiple stories.
Well, that's the thing, was after The Crow, the success of The Crow, producers decided that they're going to continue with the stories and shit, and that's what they decided to do. With very, very limited results for the most part. But yeah, it wasn't
I did
actually,
like City of Angels. Yeah.
Me too. But it wasn't James O'Barr it wasn't his idea to continue this story. That was something that he decided to do when, you know, like things got too big and too hot, and they were just like, you know, hey, you're gonna have to do this, you're gonna have to do a new story for this, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So it was basically like you can look at it in terms of, you know, just basically like this soul being crushed in an, you know, ever grinding machine, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing that really annoys me about this particular, you know, the reviews for this movie are that people are saying that there's no merit to it. And I don't believe that for a second.
No. This movie is definitely about the folly of youth and how young people can be very impassioned with lust driven by drugs and maybe like running, like when you're in a severely dangerous situation and you're on the run and you're doing drugs, you're going to become very attached with that person that you're with.
You know what, honestly, Mel, there's probably a chance that maybe we gravitated towards the story because we have been in this situation before in the past.
Possibly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have had these Romeo and Juliet moments where you feel like you're, you know, like absolutely head over heels in love with somebody, and you feel like they're the perfect thing for you.
For 1 week.
Yeah.
But like,
it's Titanic love.
Like, honestly, if in real life, if they would have stayed together like another 6 months, it would have been over.
Or they'd be dead.
Or they'd be dead. OD'd on
Well,
something.
they are dead.
Yeah.
But they would be dead. Reviews that have come out about it are just like, you know, the idea of it is hateful, it's mean-spirited, it's nihilistic, it's, you know, yeah, no shit.
That's the whole point.
It's supposed to be. It's not The Crow. It's not the Crow like you're thinking it is going to be. You couldn't make that Crow, you know, the masterpiece of, you know, like that people say it is. You couldn't make that now. The Crow, compared to this one, like, feels like sort of like a superhero film. Eric Draven is a man who's out for revenge, but also is kind of like, you know, even though he's in a band and shit, you know, he's like this Clark Kent character.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where this dude is like, he's problem. He's got problems.
Yeah, he's got a lot of problems.
He's in rehab. He's in, you know, he's in denial. You know, he's in like some weird thing with, you know, like where he feels like he connects with his tattoos, like, you know, they're like part of his soul or whatever. You know what I mean? And this is all shit that young kids think.
Yeah.
This is all shit that young kids think. You know what I mean?
But, you know, the whole point of this movie is that it was a toxic relationship. Like, in not that they were bad towards each other, like verbally or physically, but in that they promoted each other's, they egged each other on when it came to their alcohol abuse.
Oh, if they weren't suffocated, there'd be, you know, like, there'd be shit thrown at the walls in like a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was basically, like you said, it was like two kids in love, you know, two star-crossed lovers who are really, really damaged, you know, who think they're like absolutely head over heels for each other.
And it's just lust and drugs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's like kind of like Sid and Nancy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can understand why that pissed people off, because that's not what the original Crow was. That was not its intent. It was not its intent to be like extremely, like, that was extremely dark for the time. Now you watch it now and it's like watching Batman 89.
Right.
You know what I mean? This really laid into the brutality of reality, into the, you know, unhealthy relationships that most people, like, you know, face for the most part. In reality, it's a more realistic Crow to me than
and this one, I think this one is more of like, she was not as innocent as he thought she was.
Right.
And this is about an innocent man. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say he's innocent.
No.
But it's sent into violence.
His soul is cleaned enough where he could move on, but yeah, his life is problematic for sure.
Yeah, so his life is, but the thing is like, he becomes the monster.
They're oil and water.
he becomes the monster.
So let's talk about the other thing that people had issue with, and that's Danny Houston playing the villains. I wish they played into that character a bit more. All we know is he made a pact. He was able to take souls into hell, and that's how he's able to, like, you know, stay alive.
Live forever.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all through exposition. So, you know, I can understand how people thought that Michael Wincott's Top Dollar is way more dynamic than that guy in the original. Fucking A is 100%. But it's not, you know, it's not without its merit too, because people were just like, you know, oh, the Crow's supposed to lean into supernatural and all this other stuff. And then when City of Angels did it,
it did lean into supernatural.
yes, with that character in particular.
Yeah.
So, you know,
And with the fact that Eric,
it didn't do anything to.
See, we really can't talk too much about what's going on with this movie because we give away stuff.
Yes, we can. People think it's fucking trash.
Okay,
That's why we're
so
doing it.
the fact that Eric's character can go back and forth into purgatory, or was it purgatory that he was in?
Yeah.
He keeps flashing from purgatory into the real world. Like, that in itself is supernatural. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it does play into the elements of the supernatural, like the Crow was supposed to do. But again, at the same time, though, you know, he's, you know, like when okay, so when Brandon Lee becomes, you know, the Crow or whatever, he comes back from the dead, he automatically is just a badass. You know what I mean?
he feels no pain.
But this guy is feeling everything.
He feels the pain.
And
every time he gets cut. or
also,
shot,
he's
he
not a
feels it.
fighter and he's not a murderer.
No.
You could see that look in his eye when he shoots that guy in the face for the first time. Like,
Right.
it's just not him.
No.
And that's what I love about it, is that there is a progression of this character.
Yeah.
It's not like,
You see the descent.
yeah, you see the descent of, you know, a kid who, you know, okay, maybe he likes to, you know, like do some Molly and smoke a little weed every once in a while and drink.
Yeah.
But he's never killed anybody.
Right.
So you do see that progression, and you see it through Bill Skarsgård's amazing acting. And that's another thing that the reviews are saying, is that he's not a good actor. Get the fuck out of here.
He is such an amazing actor.
Get the
I
fuck
give
outta
that-
here.
He's really good.
They also said that FK, Twigs and Shelley, didn't bring anything to the proceedings, and they were bored of the relationship. That's the other thing. We can't character develop anymore. We can't just, you know, have a moment with these people where we can actually feel like we know them.
Right.
You know? Like, everything has to be so instantaneous. Everything has to be a fucking flashback or whatever.
Right.
It's actually a really funny Honest Trailers that's out right now for the original Crow. And one of the things they talk about, like, as a joke, is like all the editing in that movie. Like how, like, you can watch it as an older person and get a headache from it. Like, stop it, I'm old! Like that. All those quick cuts and shit, you know?
Right. Right.
But, you know, and yeah, this is like very fluid, you know what I mean? Like, the story's fluid.
Yeah.
I thought it was beautifully shot for, you know, for the most part.
Yeah.
That opera scene is like, it holds
Oh my
up.
god. That opera scene is amazing.
It really is.
Yes.
It really is.
And the thing is, you gotta remember too, he can actually feel every cut.
That was amazing.
Everything.
When he got stabbed and his guts were hanging out and he pushed him back in
Oh yeah.
before his like skin healed up, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you could feel it in his face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the other thing too is, like, people were just automatically just shitting on this thing because, you know, yes, he has tattoos on his face. He's got, you know, this
A lot of people nowadays have tattoos
Exactly.
on their face. That's like that's the generation.
but it's not like they had a fucking. This movie didn't have a hip hop soundtrack. It's never, you know what I mean? Like, aside from them going to a party, like, it's never really, you know. He's not like the Machine Gun Crow, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that people were calling him, or the
Right.
Jared Leto Joker Crow.
Like I said, they were more like ravers.
Dude, Brandon Lee was weird when that first came out. That was weird for people.
Yeah.
That was fucking weird.
Mm.
I dressed like that, and I was weird. She dressed like that, and we were fucking weird.
I would have
Dude,
to,
the soundtrack is fucking Enya on it.
yeah. It's pretty awesome. It's
I'm just
pretty
saying,
awesome.
Enya.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's not like it's like Kendrick Lamar, Beyonce, whatever. It's fucking Enya.
Yeah, it's a totally different crow from.
You know, Joy
From the
Division's
original
on the fucking soundtrack.
It's a totally different crow. There's nothing industrial or goth about this.
Yes,
at all,
there
except,
is.
except for maybe his jacket.
There is.
What?
The soundtrack. Joy Division? Fucking come on, dude.
But I'm saying industrial goth, not like the original.
Oh,
Crow.
yeah. Yeah. So anyway, you know, again, I can understand if you're taking something and you're putting against the original, you're going to get the results of this is absolute dog shit because it's not going to relate to you, and that's probably why this thing was automatically doomed to fail because of the fact that, you know, people just can't get with it because they can't get rid of the past. Like, the past is too in their minds and they just can't break away from it.
You have to take a step back and you have to realize these are two totally different movies. They're two totally different movies in two totally different eras.
Two different movies, two different eras, but also at the same time the director was trying to do something that didn't feel like a studio machine.
Right.
That broke away from that kind of thing. And I feel like he achieved it. You know, like, there's some brutality in this movie that should have given this, like, maybe an NC-17 or an X. It's brutal.
Yeah, it's very brutal.
It's fucking brutal. And anybody who says that fucking The Crow isn't supposed to be brutal, go read something.
Yeah.
Go read the original graphic novel that the original Crow is based on. They really didn't lay into the violence, believe it or not, when it came to that movie. Like, he's literally smashing in heads and ripping people apart in the Crow graphic novel.
Yep.
So...
Yeah. So, with that...
Yeah, so people that said it was like John Wick, Crow, like, yeah, dude, that's what it's supposed to be.
That's what it always was.
He's supposed to be a fucking maniac. I can understand why people hate this movie. I get it, but at the same time, I could see why people like us like this movie because it's not an absolute dumpster fire. I think there was a lot of merit to it.
Oh, yeah.
I think that, you know, Bill Skarsgård, personally, I thought he did a great job.
He did an awesome job.
I love that FK Twigs was able to bring some kind of depth to Shelley that we had never seen before. Because originally in the first Crow, like, she's just basically a bunch of flashbacks.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was interesting that they were able to bring something unique to it. I think Rupert Sanders, the director, I think he did an awesome job. Is this the movie of the year? No way. For me, personally, I love John Wick shit and stuff like that, so this is one of the best things I've seen all year. I know people are going to hate me for saying that, but they won't put it in flashing lights. Like, it was one of the best things I've seen all year. And people will be like, what the fuck? You don't know what you're doing, and I don't know why you do what you do. And
right.
15 years, you're just talking bullshit.
Well,
blah, blah, blah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I will tell you, in the original Crow with Brandon Lee, their love was real.
If you could, please like and subscribe. Comment. I'm sure you guys are going to blast us for this shit, which is fine.
Whatever.
But
we work in the service industry. We get blasted anyways every day.
Look, we're going to get blasted for this shit. I know it. But you know what? That's cool. You know what I mean? If that's what connects you to us, we're connected through hate, at least we're connected in some way.
Yeah, go ahead. Hate on this. It'll just put us in the algorithm.
No, really, seriously. Like, you know, I mean, be respectful. It's just a fucking movie, guys. But, you know, like, we do love the original.
Give it a shot. I mean, just give it a shot. Like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Plain and simple.
We think it rolled, you know? Like,
Yeah, right.
You can't help it. You can't save everybody, I guess.
Right?
But you know what? It's just a movie, so it can't rain all the time.
Take it. Oh, I was just thinking that. Yeah.
All right. We'll scare you later. Talk to you soon.
Laters.